powered by Riverside FM.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. I hope everyone is having a good Friday. And I'm sure when I say good, I mean that in the nicest way possible. If you are a Manchester United fan, especially with the way things went yesterday against Lyon. Before we get into the match that was yesterday, don't forget to hit subscribe. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, as well as you can stream on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. And I'm slowly but surely, I do have the TikTok out as well. I haven't posted anything yet, but that should hopefully be coming soon with some posts. But let's just look at everything in a whole from yesterday. Most of this episode will be discussing what happened yesterday. Listen, it was a good match. I am not confident by what I just said. 2-2 against Lyon. Listen, I don't want to single out someone like the rest of it is, but yes, Onana is the topic of the game yesterday. Listen, like there are some other areas as well. Key like fouls given, certain defensive stances that we had. Listen, I don't want to be part of the bus that just goes out and just targets him. And yes, it may seem a little bit, but yes, in the end, overall from yesterday, yes, Onana was the person there. 2 goals that are savable but didn't. And when I saw that free kick yesterday that went in, part of me just was reminded of the Champions League's group stages last year. I think it was the first match that we played, and when we were playing, I think, was it Bayern? Bayern Munich. Just should be a simple save. And I don't know if it's just the way Onana was reading it. And I know I saw Casemiro's hand go up, thinking that there was going to be an offside call. I'm wondering if the way Onana is positioning himself, thinking that his defense is going to make a move. Like when you looked at it there, the on player, it looked like they missed it, but enough that they could have gotten a touch on it that could have affected the trajectory. But from what it looked like, there wasn't there. But there was still a possibility of still having them get a chance to touch the ball, and the way the bounce went in, and then we saw it. But again, I'm wondering if Onana is his position. 2, I'm wondering if he is thinking that his defenders are going to make a move as well. And when you kind of look at it, you do see the Lyon player just break through very easily, and you're not seeing, those who should be blocking and defending those types of balls are, not making a real stance. But it was a savable ball. If he had moved like 2 steps to his left, yes, he's saving that ball, and it's about position. The second goal, he made the save on the first one. I feel like it should have been trapped. The rebound that he let off that allowed the Lyon player there to score, to tie it up, it killed. In all fairness, they did to us what we did to them in the first half. We scored with seconds left in the first half. They scored with seconds left in the second half to tie it up. So it was a tale of 2 halves. We did it to them. They did it to us. And again, I know, like I mentioned in the last episode, how I liked the bickering, but realistically, in this matchup and everything, it was basically Onana talked and just didn't back it up. Don't get me wrong, he made some saves, but we're always going to look back at the goals. We're always going to look back at there. And it's not like these were like these goals that he couldn't save. These were goals that he could have, but it's just those mistakes that he's been doing. And yeah, again, he talked the talk, he talked the talk and couldn't walk. to say the least. And I don't want to there were other factors, to say the least. Like I mentioned, on that free kick, I didn't see anyone jump. I didn't see anyone make a play with the ball being there. Like sometimes defensive pieces aren't there to defend. And let's not pretend here that we've had issues with set pieces in other areas as well. Like we've had struggles. But yes, there have been times where Onana has been out of position, or we think that he's out of position because the way it bounced. And yes, he was going to dive to make it. And again, whether he's a step too slow or just a step behind, he just didn't get it there, and it made the bounce, and it went in. Um, and I know everyone's going to focus on what he said the last couple of days. And don't get me wrong. I know last episode I was like, I'm okay with this as long as they back it up on the pitch. And unfortunately, yes, he didn't. Like he made key mistakes. And listen, overall, a tie away is good. A win is always better. So you have a tie going back to Old Trafford, where if we maintain the tie, we go into extras, we have a chance to win in extras or potentially on penalties. I don't want any of that. I want a straight in win in regulation, as do many United fans. And yes, Lyon now has the momentum because of what they did. They're continuing to talk. What I say to you, United players, do your standard procedure. Anything else, just shut up. Just don't do anything. Don't get baited. Don't do anything for the next match. Just shut up. Now, listen, I was happy with a lot of things. I was happy with the changes made in the second half. Højlund, I don't know what's going on with him. Listen, Dorgu made a great read in the first half. Højlund just, I don't know, panicked, rushed, could have had a goal. Somehow just, it's like me with a flop shot. Like you hit a perfect, like, let's say 300-yard drive. You're 100 yards away with a pitch, and you duffed it. You duffed it 6 feet to your right. You're supposed to go straight, but you went right. And he went right. He went so right that the Lyon players just stared at it and watched it roll to get their free kick. I don't know. And I've listen, I liked Højlund when he came in. Because again, I talked to friends who follow him, especially on the Danish team. And like they did and I do like things that he is, but for this system and everything, it's just not working. And I know I put him in my starting lineup last week, or I put him in my starting lineup yesterday, and he did start. Højlund, Garnacho was starting there. Mount wasn't there. They put Bruno where I had Mount, and then you had Casemiro starting. And again, I liked it. Man United had their opportunities to transition the balls, but again, just the struggles of Højlund and the struggles of Garnacho. Again, I know we talked about how calm he was in the City game and how he's a massive improvement compared to Nottingham Forest. Again, just the struggles and trying to manage his footwork, trying to get things going. But again, it didn't seem like he can get anything going. And it sucked for Højlund, because again, if Højlund scored, maybe that changes his stance in the game. Maybe that helps improve him in the game, get his confidence back in the game. But I feel like there's a struggle there. And I know, listen, everyone, I know they're happy that he scored in Leicester. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to downgrade Leicester, but Leicester is not as strong as, let's say, Lyon or Man City or Nottingham Forest. They're getting relegated. So let's think about that there for a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Højlund has his struggles and they're back again. And again, Dorgu made the read in the bottom corner, got it to him. I think it was on Højlund just the way the shot went. when he receives the ball, he's not pivoting and moving up forward. The transition, he's your traditional striker, but the traditional striker doesn't work in the system like this. And when we moved on, and when we made the changes, bringing on Xerxes, having Mount come in, having Manu come in, you saw things flow a little bit better. Listen, Xerxes, I wish Xerxes could play like a 9. I know in his words he's a 9.5, but he's better as a 10. But the way he moves the ball with his feet and the control, and he can finish. Let's not take away that he can't finish, ladies and gentlemen. He has scored. But like when we look at it here, the way he transitions with that ball, it's what we need Højlund to do. We need him to have that footwork. And I remember I saw someone post what the final attack was. You had Xerxes at the 9. You had Manu, Mount as your 10s, Bruno with Casemiro in the middle, and you still had your remaining starting wingers out on the outside, and Dorgu and Delo. Listen, that worked. It worked to us getting a goal. And then going back, obviously, with like a minute or so left, we let in that type of goal. And listen, I'm going to give a little, not going to give hate, sorry. I'm going to give a little, knock towards our defense on that final moment. You gave Lyon that opportunity to get that shot off. As much as Onana gave away the rebound and got them the score, our defense in pivotal moments, and this is like dealing with Ten Hag again last year, you're up, final moments, you just crap the damn bed. And that's what it was. They gave the opportunity to give the shot off. In moments there was a giveaway, a free kick, but again, you're given the opportunity to get a shot off, and our defenders were so boxed in and so close together that you're allowing them to just go, and you're chasing the ball. You're not manning up and trying to cover off the spaces, and that's what got the shot off. It was basically when you see the shot off by the Lyon player, it was like parting of the sea. You had a perfect line down the middle right at Onana. It's just they capitalized on Onana's mistake. And yes, Matic is going to live for that for days. That's now on Onana's head. It's there. But the game, again, it was stressful. Again, seeing the free kick, I was happy with the rebound. Shout out to Lenny Euro getting his first goal. And again, we needed it. We did. Going back to Old Trafford would have been worse. But in my opinion, it was a good game. Bright spots for me, depending on how you see it. Manu coming in, helping out, getting towards that second goal. Mount coming in. Like, one thing too is yellow cards are going to be a factor going to that next match. So that is one thing that we have to look out for. The baits. Mount is on a yellow, Ugarte is on a yellow, and I believe Casemiro is still on a yellow. So we that's a struggle right there to take a least right now, and Delo as well as well as on a yellow. So that game next week can be a little concerning. But to look at this in a way, like again, the bright spots: Manu coming in, helping out with contributing to that second goal. Mount coming in, and yes, I know there's that little skirmish and everything, but I'm not taking this as cockiness. I'm taking this as the energy that he brought and the physicality that he brought in that little spot. And yes, there was that little spot where you saw us and Lyon getting a little physical. That right there is what Manchester United is missing. The attitude and what we saw. Mount brought that, and I felt like that kind of helped with the way the game went. You saw that. Xerxes coming in for Højlund. Xerxes getting the header, a beautiful chip from Bruno. Was great. And again, Bruno has been the bright spot of the season. Let's not take that away from him. I think he's on 32 goal contributions this season in all competition. 16 goals, 16 assists. He's been incredible, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, without him, yes, we'd be in a lot worse positions as well. But Dorgu, depending on when you're watching, he had a fight on that left side. He made some great things. He had some lost battles on that left side. But overall, for a 20-year-old, for what he was doing, I think he was fine. I do. And when I say fine, I mean that in a good way. Like he did his job on that left side. Could have got an assist if Hoyland could have finished, but unfortunately, but he did some good things. He did some bad things, but I think Hoyland was perfectly fine out. Not Hoyland. Dorgu was perfectly fine out on that left side. So I'm happy with that. So growing pains is always going to be there with the matchup. So, but I was happy with it. And again, yeah, those were my 4 bright spots. Like the way they played, they were all bright spots. They were all keys and turning around the second half. Yes, it's my. I am going to announce my 3 players of the match, because they were there. They were great. No, it's not Andre Onana as one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Just I think everyone understood that it's not there. Obviously, Bruno was the man of the match yesterday. But my 3 players of the match, again, Xerxes, Euro, and Bruno. Listen, Xerxes coming on, playing the way he did, the way he moves the ball. You saw the momentum that came over from the City game. Again, the way he has the energy and the way he plays, the way he moves the ball. Again, I like his footwork, and it's good. It goes well. It's just because, again, there was one point there he just had open space, and you just see him look around as his vision to try to make the right plays, the right moves. And that's what I'm leaning towards when I'm saying with Hoyland. That's what Hoyland needs to do. And like Xerxes just makes it look a lot easier with the footwork. But yeah, but those, like, again, Xerxes was great. Euro was great as well. Just him out on that left side at left D is just incredible. And like him at left back, left center back, like the way he played in the back 3. Yes, it was great. It was like he is great. He is living up to what we brought him in for last summer. And it's a shame that Ten Hag never got to use him. That's my only one thing that sucked about the previous regime. Ten Hag never got to use Lenny Euro. Sorry about that. I had to cough there for a second, but yeah, and again, it's a shame that Lenny Euro wasn't used under Ten Hag. I wonder what could have been, but that's the past. But yes, Euro has been incredible in that back 3, and I think Amram has been really happy with that as well. When you have when you have Euro and Maz in the back, and I know for those Mazraoui, when you look at those back 3, or actually just those back 2, the lid is great, and hopefully he's healthy and ready to go for next week's game. The fact that those 2 are getting comfortable moving the ball up and taking it out from the back makes things better for the transition of the ball. And we've seen that the last couple games. We're seeing the confidence of moving the ball, which is great. And that's what's making everything better for us as well. So I'm happy with that. And listen, if anything happened to Delo, you can have Maz move to the right wing back, and you can have him start doing the same thing as well. So, excuse me, and we'll see. But listen, Maz, Euro in the back 3, like they've been key, especially with transitioning up with the ball. Lastly, Bruno as my 3rd man of the match. Listen, at the 10, he's good, but again, we're seeing better movement with him back in the middle. Because again, if we're able to move it through the back, so you have, let's say, Euro or Maz moving it up, they can transition it to Bruno, who can transition it up to, let's say, a Xerxes, a Menu, or a Mount, to get that going, and then we can try and get more counter or more of an attack going, and you're seeing that transition there. So again, like I said, since Amber's come in, you're seeing the growth of how the game is playing, which is good. Which is good. And I know there's going to be United fans who are like, oh, we're just satisfied with growth. What's wrong with that? For the way the season is, and when you're transitioning to a new system, remember, ladies and gentlemen, Everyone hated Ten Hag for not using his system. Why? Because Ten Hag basically came out and said, this team cannot play my style. Basically giving it up. Amram is not going to give that up. He's going to make them play the 3-4-3, which I am okay with. He did it since day one, and you're seeing now the results. They may not be the results that you are, but let's remember here, folks. Last Tuesday, we played against the number one, I believe it's the number one goalie in the league. We're playing against one of the best defenses in the league. They're third in the league for a reason, for how well they're playing. We played Man City, who Man City needs to do what they're doing, because now that there's a fifth Champions League spot, that fifth spot is now gold to anyone who's fighting for it. Like, again, we're doing good things. Yes, the results aren't coming, but the question is, let's say we finish up the season the way it is, and let's say we win Europa. With the way we're playing and the momentum with the players that we have, yes. Now, the question is going off from here to now next season with players in that will fit the system and fit what Ruben wants. And let's say we start excelling. I'm not saying win the frickin' league, but let's say we saw that growth, that transition from this season to next season, and you saw it grow and started working out. Could you not say that the end of this season was great? Not great, but good enough that you saw what the future could be? Did you not see that? Did that not throw any concern? But in the end, let's just leave it there. That'll be for a whole new episode. But I am seeing growth. Is Amram getting stressed the way things are going right now? Guys, the sky is blue. Yes, he is. You can see it. Listen, it's not easy for him right now, especially not knowing what the summer is going to be like. Makes it even worse. But he's stressed, and like, stress is part of this game. Stress, your elevated stress coming to this club and being a manager of Man United is even 10 times worse than being anywhere else. But I feel like him, we're seeing that growth, and I'm okay with it. And I'm not okay with him being stressed a lot, but I am okay with him that he is getting this team to grow. But it's going to take time. And I know the world, and I know that board and those lovely owners. And I am sorry, United fans. We are also a contributing factor too. And I know the last 10 years have sucked. Let's not sugarcoat, guys. It sucked. Like, don't get me wrong. We have trophies. We had some good finishes, but it sucked. Okay. And let's be fair. And last year sucked as much as we won the FA Cup. It sucked. The season before Ten Hag came in, we sucked. It's just the way things, like, we want improvement. We want the whole world as a stage. And this is what I kind of mentioned into my last one. As Man United, we are the biggest commercial club in the world. And I did go on a rant last episode. If you want to listen to that, you'll hear it. And I mentioned certain clubs who are bigger than us. But yes, commercially wise, we are the biggest club, which that means commercially wise, they expect bigger things because of the product that they're marketing of us. So it is what it is, and that can cause stress on a player. It can cause stress on a manager. It can cause stress on an ownership, but it's the ownership that we have. Yes, Jim Radcliffe is part of the problem. Sorry, I need to take a drink of water here for a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a little swig there. It's just something caught in the back of my throat, and when you talk so much, it's there. But for the way things are, yes, stress is there, and it can cause anything there as well. But hopefully things get better. That's all I'm going to say, and ease the stress. But stress will always be there because of the club that we are. So, just getting near the end of my episode. I know my transitions haven't been there, but it's all linked together with the things that have happened and with the way yesterday has, and just last episodes and last matches and players. My question is, obviously, I know everyone's thinking about it, Onana, but is it time to move on from Hoyland, Garnacho, and Onana? That's up to you to decide, and I know people have an opinion. Hoyland and Garnacho have already been talked to about being sold this summer. With rumors of Manu's contract coming up and his extension, I think that means Garnacho's going. And I know he put his house on sale, but I think the way things are, you're looking at Alejandro Garnacho being sold this summer. And chances are he's going to Napoli, and you might see Hoyland go to the Serie A as well. That's what I'm just saying. I don't read into the house. For all we know, he's looking to upgrade. He has kids. He's got a lot more dogs. But in the end, when you're looking at it, is it time to move on from those three? Especially when you're looking at Kuna. You want Kuna to come in. You're looking at bringing in Liam Delap as well. And again, if again, I keep mentioning for United to look at the free transfers, get those guys in for frees. You're worried about money, but let's get the frees in. Like, I'm sorry, like again, get Jonathan David. If you like, Liam Delap is looking at 30 to 35 million right now because they're going to get relegated. You bring in Kuna for 60 again, that's still lowering it. You bring in Jonathan David and bring in Angel Gomez. I know people are not like, well, they're the French league, they're from Lille. Bring them in. You have an expert striker. Again, we're looking for creativity. And guess what? Those guys have creativity in Champions League as well. So you bring that in. And again, I understand it's all about Champions League football. And if we get in, we have the money, which is great. But Kuna is willing to come here even without Champions League. And I'm pretty sure Liam Delap is coming as well, despite lack of European competition, which is a good thing. Like I know you don't want to hear it, but I want Champions League. I want us back. But at the same time, too, you know what? No, I'm not going to continue on. I'm leaving it without it. I'm going off the rails now. I'm sorry. I'm stopping myself. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. That's what I'm just going to say. But yes, overall, let's just go because it was mostly focused on the match and, other topics, which will come in another episode as well. I will release another episode on the weekend, possibly another episode today or probably tomorrow because I got to do the Newcastle preview. Lots of talks about that going on. The word rotation is being thrown around. There's a rumor that Bruno may not be in for Sunday as well. But that's for another episode. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead, especially when I just said almost no as well about 30 seconds ago. But I'll save that for another episode. So, one last thing. I know I just did that. I think it might be time to switch to Bayender for the weekend. I think Bayender needs to go into the second leg. I know some people were wondering if Bayender should have started yesterday. But I think Bayender going in next week as well should go in. And I know that's going to ruin confidence for Onana. But listen, it is what it is. But I think Bayender needs to make the switch. And he needs to get the reps in against Newcastle this weekend and then carry it over to next week. That's what I'm saying. We have to focus and we're on the pressure here, and it also depends on how you look at it too. But I will be doing another episode, or I'll be doing another preview episode against Lyon next week too, so keep an eye on that as well. So all right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely feel like more of a rant than any other episode, but that's mostly podcasting there for you when it comes to being a fan of a club like this. Have yourself a good Friday. Have yourself a good weekend as well. Don't forget to hit subscribe, follow on Apple and Spotify, as well as YouTube, TikTok, as well, Twitter, Instagram. Hit a like if you want to follow. That's all up to you. Thank you to those that have been subscribing and have been listening. I do greatly appreciate it. I do this for fun. It's about talking about something that you love, and this club is a roller coaster of emotions, and I think that is the nicest way to put it when it comes to football. So, but yes, that's it for today. Again, Have yourself a good Friday. Have yourself a good weekend. I'll see you guys on the next episode. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.